Hello, hello, and welcome to episode 198 of the Compassion and Cucumbers podcast. I'm Christine.
And I'm Sam.
Sorry we're late. I hope we will not be, sent to detention for our tardiness, but here we are.
Indeed.
And here's what's coming up in today's show. This week's Y-Files exposes a Denmark zoo that requests patrons to donate their pets. Why?
Yeah.
We'll find out.
In our Noteworthy segment, we'll tell you about a vegan food and travel series now streaming on Peacock.
And in our main topic, we take a look at 7 cooking mistakes that you could be making as a vegan. Wonder what those are.
I don't know.
But before we get into that, what have we been up to?
Not a whole heck of a lot, to be honest.
No, just,
kind of same old, same old.
Kind of. I've just totally been enjoying this pseudo fake fall weather that we're having right now.
Fantastic.
It's been cool and breezy and sunny. We need rain badly. We've had little to no rain all summer long, but I am enjoying it. The trees in our area are already starting to change, which is early.
It is quite early.
And I don't know if that's because of the temperature or because of the drought. I don't know. But we're looking forward to more autumnal activities.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Bring it on.
Yeah. We don't have a recipe this week. I didn't get around to it.
Nope.
Let's just be honest. So let's just jump into our Y-Files. So this comes to us from NPR. A zoo in Denmark asked patrons to donate their pets, not as attractions, but for food.
Oh my God.
Yeah. A European zoo stirred up intrigue and controversy after a social media post asking for surplus pets be donated to feed captive animals went viral. In a post on Facebook, the Aalborg Zoo in Denmark asked people to donate unwanted pets that would be gently euthanized and fed to predators in captivity. Chickens, rabbits, and guinea pigs form an important part of the diet of our predators, especially the European lynx, which needs whole prey that resembles what it would naturally hunt in the wild, the zoo wrote. In zoos, we have a responsibility to imitate the natural food chain of the animals in terms of both animal welfare and professional integrity, the post continued. That way, nothing goes to waste, and we ensure natural behavior, nutrition, and well-being of our predators. The zoo also accepts horses as a part of its fodder program. The Facebook post quickly became a battleground, and that doesn't surprise me at all, between commenters who were appalled at the concept of euthanizing healthy pets for animal feed, and those who applauded the zoo for its method of maintaining a practical food supply for its animals. Much of the umbrage directed towards the zoo seemed to stem from the use of the word pets to refer to the animals, which called to mind the image of well-loved lapdogs being sent alive into a literal lion's den. "This is a joke, right?" one enraged commenter wrote. "No one would bring his healthy pet to a zoo so they can kill it and feed it to their animals." In Denmark, this practice is common. The Aalborg Zoo says dogs and cats are excluded from the program. Donatable animals are limited to chickens, rabbits, guinea pigs, and horses. It says, adding that this is a practice it has maintained with patrons for years. When keeping carnivores, it's necessary to provide them with meat, preferably fur, bones, etc., to give them as natural a diet as possible, Zoo Deputy Director Pia Nielsen said in a statement to NPR. Therefore, it makes sense to allow animals that need to be euthanized for various reasons to be of use in this way. In Denmark, this practice is common, and many of our guests and partners appreciate the opportunity to contribute, Nielsen said. What do the experts say? Well, experts say that it is important for captive animals to be fed whole animal parts, including fur, bones, and organs, to maintain the sort of eating habits that they would exhibit in the wild. Captive carnivores in the United States often have their diets supplemented with commercially available meat products like chunk or mincemeat. The problem with just feeding lions meat is that the offal, liver, heart, etc., is much richer in various nutrients than muscle meat. Wild lions only start eating the muscle tissue after they've finished the offal. Craig Packer, founder of the director of Lion Center of the University of Minnesota, told NPR in an email. So feeding lions anything besides horse and cow meat would probably be a welcome change. The Association of Zoos and Aquariums is an accreditation body for conservation programs in the United States. It says that its member zoos do not employ or endorse the solicitation of pets for food. But the Nutrition Advisory Group to the AZA highlights the importance of predatory animals still having access to large and whole animal remains as part of a balanced diet. Feeding vertebrate animal carcasses to captive carnivores has been a management tool used by zoos in the United States for many years, the advisory group said in a statement. It encompasses a wide variety of prey types or form of presentation, from whole body to portion controlled, and has the beneficial effects of stimulating activity and improving normal feeding behavior, it said. The difference in American and European zoo practices has been highlighted before, particularly in the case of Denmark. In 2015, the country's Odense Zoo made international headlines for its decision to kill and publicly dissect a 9-month-old female lion in front of school children as a means to control the facility's lion population, a practice the zoo has been carrying on for decades. A year before, in the capital city of Copenhagen, animal rights activists were horrified to learn that a healthy 2-year-old giraffe known as Marius had been euthanized and his remains fed to the zoo's lions. The Copenhagen Zoo said putting Marius down had been necessary to avoid inbreeding among its giraffe population. Holy Denmark, what are you doing?
Well, I don't know. I'm not going to be as quick to judge because, of course, as you started this article, I was kind of horrified. On the at the outset. I was kind of horrified. But hearing about the stipulations and the reasons for it, that, of course, it's not all pets, that there is a limited number of types of animals that are accepted for this purpose.
That's kind of speciesist. Why not dogs and cats if they're going to accept other animals?
Well, because very likely dogs and cats don't meet the nutritional needs of the carnivores that they have in captivity.
Yeah,
or
maybe.
they believe that people will have too much of a emotional connection to the idea of cats or dogs being fed to lions and lynxes.
Yeah, just like people have that emotional attachment, but don't have that emotional attachment when they buy, cow meat or pig meat in the grocery store.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so I agree that is in a way speciesist, certainly. And of course, I don't agree with the essentially incarceration of wild animals.
Yeah.
So I think it would just be better to have them stay in their natural habitat as much as is humanly possible.
Yeah.
But, if they are going to be in captivity, then of course their nutritional needs need to be met.
Yeah, I mean,
And if
I don't argue that.
And if the offal of an animal, so again, the heart, lungs, liver, kidneys, etc., is where those animals get the majority of their nutrition, then of course that needs to be met.
Yeah.
And so I do understand that. And the idea that, okay, well, let's say we had a pet bunny. Okay.
Yeah.
And the pet bunny was not doing so well and was, not going to be with us for much longer. I don't love the idea, but the idea that, I don't love the idea of euthanizing a pet to begin with. Like that's not a fun idea for me. Of course we do it when it's necessary, but
it happens.
It does. And so, I can see the concept of, the body of that animal then being of use.
I suppose. Yeah. You have a point. I see what point you're getting at.
You see what I get? I feel like I'm not expressing myself very well on this.
I totally get your point. I just can't imagine taking your companion animal. And if that companion animal is ill, why would they want it anyway?
Well, because there's a very good chance that, an illness, like, so for example, if a guinea pig has a heart problem, that's not something that's going to be passed on,
I suppose,
to a lion.
Yeah.
So, I can see the, the full use of it, you know, that
Yeah.
that this animal's remains becomes sustenance
Yeah.
for another animal.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm not totally against this.
Interesting.
I'm really not. I think the encouragement of people to donate unwanted pets, like
Yeah.
that language
Yeah.
bothers me a
A
little
lot
bit.
of it is just in the language.
Yes. And so I'm wondering if those words were chosen to kind of make the article seem a little more inflammatory, because apparently this is not a new practice. This has been
No.
going on for decades.
Yeah. No, but this verbiage came directly from this zoo's Facebook post.
Oh, interesting.
So that, yeah.
That's interesting.
And I don't know if it's something that maybe it's in translation. I don't know if the Facebook post was in English. You know what I mean?
Yep, that's another question for sure.
I do also, you know, even though this isn't even on the same subject, but the thing about them dissecting an entire lion in front of children,
Oh yeah, I'm not crazy
not
about
down
that.
with that.
No.
And
no.
killing one of their giraffes to prevent inbreeding. Look, there wouldn't be inbreeding if you weren't holding giraffes captive.
Right.
You know?
Yes, I agree.
You're creating a problem.
Right.
So then feeding that poor giraffe to one of the lions. I mean,
Yeah. No, I agree. I'm not crazy about either of those
yeah.
practices. And of course, I'm not crazy about the practice of keeping animals in zoos to begin with.
Yeah, me neither.
So, you know, we could wipe the entire slate clean by simply not placing wild animals in zoos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
Then the argument is completely moot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's be quiet just for a sec. Can you hear that noise in the background? If you listen closely, there is a squirrel outside going bananas. I don't know why. And there's nothing we can do about it.
Nope, nothing at all. I don't mind it.
No.
Sounds
He's out there yelling at nuts or something. I don't know what he's doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's a really interesting practice and something that I never knew happened.
I was unaware of that too.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm not entirely against it. I can see the kind of
You can reason it out, right?
yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I can definitely reason it out.
Yeah.
So yeah, not totally against it.
Yeah, it's bizarre.
It's
bizarre.
It's unusual.
And
I've never heard of it before.
Something that is created by the fact that there's zoos. They're creating
Yes.
they're creating the need, you know, by having zoos to begin with.
Yes.
So, yeah, but I thought it was perfect for the Y files because why? Why? Because they're zoos. That's why.
Because they're zoos.
Let's move on to our noteworthy segment.
In our noteworthy segment, we are catching up with Mina Massoud, host of the Peacock travel series Evolving Vegan.
We are.
Jet-setting foodies, take note. Evolving Vegan, the food and travel series hosted by Mina Massoud, is now streaming on Peacock. The series follows the Aladdin star as he eats his way through North America and beyond, digging into cheesesteaks in Philadelphia, rolling sushi with a master chef in Tokyo, and revisiting favorites in his hometown of Toronto. Along the way, he interviews chefs for their perspectives on the evolution of plant-based cuisine.
I didn't know this existed.
I didn't either.
Has anybody seen it? Let me know if you've watched it.
We haven't because you canceled Peacock.
No, I canceled Paramount.
Oh, you didn't cancel Peacock.
I didn't cancel Peacock.
Oh, well done.
I canceled Paramount when they fired Stephen Colbert.
As well you should. Yes. I support that fully. Massoud's own path to veganism started almost a decade ago when he and two friends began gradually eliminating animal products because of environmental concerns. We approached it very slowly, he recalls. The more we did, the more we felt better. I personally started seeing a difference in my workout regimen and my body that I had never seen before. What began as a choice for the planet soon grew into a commitment to his own well-being. That personal evolution inspired the title of his show and still shapes the way he approaches veganism today. Everyone's journey is different. I encourage people to be non-judgmental and try to be more empathetic, Massoud says.
So then further down in the article, there is a interview with Massoud, and I think we'll just read it for you, and I'll link to this article if you want to take a look at it for yourself. The first question they ask him is, how has your perspective on plant-based food evolved since you first started working on the show?
When vegan food had a boom in the markets back in 2019, what became really popular was the mock meats. Now I think we're seeing people prioritize health and whole foods over vegan, highly processed foods. My view has also changed since I started the show and since I went vegan back in 2015 to focusing on healthy alternatives. You can have a mock meat burger once a week and probably be fine. But if you're having ultra processed food like that every day, it's likely not good for you. So that's kind of how my view has changed. I've gravitated more toward whole foods and healthy plant based foods instead of just imitations.
Have you seen that shift reflected in the restaurants you visited for the show?
There's a mix of everything, and everybody has their own style and agenda. Some chefs just want to get people into vegan eating, and the easiest way to do that is to make something that tastes really good and reminds them of meat. Often, that's processed. In places like Vancouver, where they have a plethora of fresh produce, I don't see a lot of processed meals. They really relied on whole foods that they got from the local environment. You see that in LA as well, because there's so much fresh produce. So it depends on the city, the chef, and a lot of things. But I think there's a good mix out there.
What makes a city stand out as a plant-based destination?
One thing is whether it surprises you versus your expectations. For example, Philadelphia shocked me. The restaurant Pietra Mala is one of the best vegan restaurants in the world that I've ever tried. That chef really has a unique point of view. Everything he makes is from the vision of fermentation and fire, and that makes for some incredible food. Another factor is the availability of fresh produce and unique vegetables and fruits. In Miami, I tried fruit I'd never seen before. And Vancouver and California, like I was saying, have a plethora of fresh produce, which makes for an incredible plant-based city as well. Portland is another standout. The chefs there are kind of avant-garde. They're not afraid to experiment.
You've filmed in many cities. Any favorite moments from the Los Angeles shoot?
LA is special because I lived there for 5 years and had personal relationships with some of the restaurants we visited, like Hope Vegan. One of my best friends, Collins Ezek, introduced me to the chef owner, Maud. So for the show, we did this cool segment where all three of us went boxing and then went to Maud's restaurant. We got to hang out basically all day. Also, my film crew was all from Toronto, and getting to take them to some of my favorite spots in LA was really nice. I took them hiking in Runyon Canyon.
What is your top advice for traveling as a vegan?
Do your research beforehand and hit up the locals. All you need is 1 or 2 good vegan spots before you arrive, and then ask people there where they go. You'll find some hidden gems that way. When we went to Osaka, we found a tiny vegan spot with 6 seats and asked everyone there where else they like to eat and ended up with incredible recommendations.
I want to go to that tiny little place with 6
Yeah,
seats.
me too.
I'll bet you anything there was like ramen or something going on there.
Oh, there had to be something fantastic.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
What do you hope people will take away from evolving vegan?
There hasn't been a show like this before. It's hard to convince a network to do a vegan show. People still think vegan is niche, but more people than ever are incorporating plant-based meals into their diets. The more people that do that, the bigger impact we can make. Also, I've always been a foodie, even before going plant-based, and I wanted to make a show that foodies could enjoy. I think we've done that. It's a show that everybody can enjoy, not just vegans.
It's obvious that Mena Massoud has gone vegan. Well, he said it at first for the environment, and now he's focusing on his health.
Yes.
We don't really care why people go vegan.
Nope.
As long as they do. We're ethical vegans, but if that's not your jam, that's not your jam. We just want people to go vegan. So please check out Evolving Vegan on Peacock. And if you've already seen it, please reach out to us. I want to hear about it because I didn't even know this existed.
Me either. So we're going to have to check it out ourselves.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's time for our main topic.
Our main topic this week, Veg Out Magazine, is letting us know about 7 vegan cooking mistakes that we might be making, even if we've been doing it for years.
Let's see if I'm making any of these mistakes.
Let's see. Have you ever whipped up a vibrant vegan dinner only to wonder why it feels meh?
Occasionally, yes.
I've been there. Back when I was still juggling spreadsheets for a living, I'd rush home, toss chickpeas into a pot, and call it cuisine. It took years of recipe testing and more than a few bland bowls to realize that vegan cooking isn't just about swapping meat for plants. It's about mastering flavor, texture, and technique on its own terms. Below are 7 missteps I still catch myself and my seasoned plant-based friends making from time to time. Let's see if any ring a bell. Number 1, ignoring umami-rich ingredients. Remember the first time you tried to veganize a family chili recipe and it tasted suspiciously like tomato-flavored water? I certainly do. The missing piece was umami, the deep, savory note that makes a dish feel satisfying. Think dried mushrooms, tomato paste, soy sauce, miso, seaweed, and even modest dashes of cocoa powder. Cooking pros harp on this point for a reason. As America's Test Kitchen editor Bridget Lancaster says, use ingredients that offer a pop of umami to make plant-based dishes meaty in flavor, even when there's no meat in sight.
Yeah, I'm really glad that they mentioned tomato paste because I think sometimes people overlook the fact that a tablespoon of tomato paste in a dish like that can totally deepen the flavors that you're trying to achieve.
Yep. When I started layering a teaspoon of miso into my lentil bolognese or blitzing sun-dried tomatoes into cashew cream, friends stopped asking, is there something missing? And started asking for seconds. Number 2, treating seasoning like an afterthought.
Oh, yeah.
Quick self-check. Do you salt only at the end? Do you rely on dried herbs that expired during the Obama administration?
Sometimes.
Do citrus wedges appear on your plate mostly for Instagram? If so, your palate is probably bored. Season early so salt penetrates, and often to adjust. And finish with brighteners, vinegar splashes, lemon zest, even pomegranate molasses. During last Saturday's trail run, I packed leftover quinoa salad tossed in a tangy sumac lemon dressing. The burst of acidity kept me powering uphill long after my running buddy's plain version turned into culinary cardboard. Number 3, forgetting to diversify protein sources.
Oh, yeah, this is a big one.
I'm looking at you, tofu everyday folks.
I would be a tofu every day, but I do try to mix it up with beans and other things.
Yes, you do.
Yeah.
Yes, soy is a superstar, but your muscles and microbiome crave variety. Registered dietitian Ginny Messina reminds us every plant protein contains all 9 of the essential amino acids, but some, especially legumes, pack more lysine, the amino many vegans skimp on. Try a weekly rotation. Tempeh one night, black-eyed pea patties the next, hemp seed parmesan over pasta on Wednesday. Your taste buds stay entertained and your nutrient profile gets a bonus upgrade.
Yeah, you got to mix it up.
Yeah, you do. Number 4, overcooking the produce and killing texture. There's tender and then there's mush. Overdo the simmer and you flatten flavors and nutrients. Quick blanch greens so they stay emerald. Roast veggies hot and fast for crispy edges. Slide delicate zucchini ribbons in only at the last minute. One of my garden's greatest hits is flash-seared sugar snap peas finished with sesame oil. Oh my gosh, bring that on.
That sounds really good.
That sounds like a dream to me. Oh my gosh. 2 minutes from pan to plate, infinitely better than the canned peas of my childhood nightmares.
Yeah. It is amazing what happens to mostly green vegetables if you do like a quick blanch or you just short steam. I remember one time I was steaming broccoli.
Yeah.
And Sam came into the kitchen. She's like, whoa, because the broccoli just turns this like bright
emerald green. Yeah.
And it's like it's releasing all of its goodness, you know?
Yeah. It's amazing.
Yeah. So yeah, overcooking vegetables, not so good. You lose so much of them, both flavor and nutrition wise.
For sure. Number 5, using one-size-fits-all substitutions. I once swapped applesauce for eggs in a birthday cake and in a fluffy yeasted bread. Same ratio, same expectation. The cake? Serviceable. The bread? a gummy brick.
Yeah, I wouldn't think that you could put applesauce into a bread.
No. As someone who really likes to bake bread, I would definitely not use applesauce.
They must have been trying to make like a brioche or something.
Must have, but applesauce is just too heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would not work at all.
Yeah.
Egg or dairy replacements are context dependent. Flax gel works wonders in chewy cookies, but aquafaba turns pancakes airy. Get curious, experiment, and avoid assuming the standard vegan swap is universal. Number 6, skipping fat for the sake of health. Confession. In my early plant-based days, I wiped oil from every recipe. Result? Dry muffins and salads that felt like homework. Healthy fats, avocado, olive oil, tahini, carry fat-soluble vitamins and satisfy hunger hormones. They're also flavor vehicles. Try drizzling chili-infused olive oil over tomato soup or blending cashews into silky Alfredo. Your brain and hair will thank you.
I watch this guy, Derek Sarno. I don't know if you're familiar with him, but him and I think it was his brother started the Wicked Kitchen line. And he has also done consulting work for like Whole Foods and, to develop plant-based options like in their grab and go food sections and stuff like that. Well, he has a YouTube channel. It's fantastic. And he almost always uses oil when he cooks.
Sure.
But he always makes like a little aside. Like, you can do this without the oil, but it's not going to be any good.
Right.
Like, this is imparting the flavor. I want this to brown really nicely. And you can do it in the oven and it will be serviceable, but you're not going to get that, depth of flavor. And,
Right.
And
even more important, there are nutrients that require fat in order for our body to absorb them.
Yeah.
So to get rid
moderation.
of fat, to get rid of fat completely is not a good idea.
I don't know how people that do that no fat. I mean, I know you can do it. Look, I know you can. I know that you can sear things in broth or even water and have them turn out, fine. But there is just something about cooking with olive oil. For me, anyway, I think it's just in my blood that I can't get away from it.
Right. And again, nutritionally, that's not the best option. And also, if we're talking about processed foods at all, when they remove the fat, what do they add? Sugar.
Yeah.
Which is no better for you.
Yeah.
Because generally speaking, it will either be cane sugar or it will be high fructose corn syrup.
Yeah,
So,
like in, I don't know, late 70s and through the 80s, there was that like low fat craze, everything like dressings and everything were coming out with low fat this and low fat that. And that's exactly what they do. They bump up the sugar content to make them more flavorful.
Yes.
And then they end up being even worse for you,
Yeah. Number 7, neglecting flavor contrast and color. If your plate is a single shade of beige, your palate will check out before the meal even starts.
Remember when we talked about that meal I made that was all beige?
It was entirely beige, and it was not good.
It was not.
It was not good. No. Add crunch to creamy soups with toasted pepitas, bright herbs to brown stews, fresh fruit salsas atop smoky tempeh. Vegetables can stand on their own, so give those veggies the stage lighting they deserve.
And like garnishes aren't just for looks always, And I mean, first of all, you do kind of eat with your eyes a little bit, right? When somebody puts a plate of food in front of you, if it's colorful and stuff, you're immediately like, you're
more engaged.
You want to dig in. If it is beige, like that pasta I made that we talked about several episodes back, then not so much.
That was unfortunate.
Yeah.
Mastering vegan cooking isn't about perfection. It's about playful tweaks, layering umami, honoring seasoning, diversifying proteins, and celebrating color. Start with one adjustment tonight. Maybe whisk miso into your tahini dressing or throw toasted walnuts onto that steamed broccoli. Small shifts, big payoff. And if you stumble, pour a cup of tea, savor the learning curve, and remind yourself that every flavorful forkful brings you closer to plant-powered confidence.
The more you do it, the more you learn, right? So even if you don't enjoy cooking, I think you will start to enjoy it more the more you do it, because you learn like different techniques and different ways to flavor things. And when we went vegan, and I know I've said this a million times, the world of food kind of opened up a little bit for us.
Oh, absolutely.
And I was far less likely to repeat meals throughout the week. Now, even if I do repeat a meal, I always tweak it in some sort of way, either flavor wise or presentation wise or something like that.
Yeah.
So I know since we've gone vegan, my love of cooking has gone up exponentially,
That's awesome. Yep.
So these are, all right, there are mistakes they're pointing out, and I've made some of these mistakes.
Sure. Who hasn't?
But, the only way you can learn is by making those mistakes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, I have to say, if you're looking on the website, immediately under this article is a little box that says, "What's your plant-powered archetype?" It's a 12-question quiz that tells you what your plant-powered archetype would be. I love me a good quiz, and I'm not going to do this now, but I will do it later because that sounds like fun.
Well, maybe we'll revisit that quiz
Maybe.
on the show. It's time now for our Assignment Restaurant SOS.
This week, we're looking at the kitchen at Farm Sanctuary.
Yay!
Located at 3136 Akins Road, Watkins Glen, New York, the kitchen at Farm Sanctuary is now open through October, Thursday through Sunday, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Visitors to Farm Sanctuary can enjoy plant-based meals before or after touring their scenic grounds, meeting the rescued animal residents, and staying in their charming tiny houses or cabins. You don't need to be a sanctuary guest to enjoy a meal. The Kitchen Cafe is open to all. No reservation needed. Just stop by for a delicious plant-based lunch and take in the beauty of the sanctuary.
And on their website, on the Farm Sanctuary website, there's not a menu. There is a link to a page for the kitchen at the Farm Sanctuary, but there is no link to a menu. So what I thought we would do is read a couple of the reviews that people have left about the kitchen at Farm Sanctuary. I really wish they listed some of their menu items on the website, but they don't.
And that's unfortunate. Yeah. But, hey, we'll work with what we've got.
Yeah, I want to read some of these reviews.
And I have to say, just getting to the review summary page and seeing that they are all 5-star reviews.
Yeah.
That says something.
Yeah. And a lot of the reviewers have posted pictures of the food that they got, and it looks really good. I really wish this had been going on when we were there last.
Yeah, me too. But we're overdue for a Farm Sanctuary visit.
We are. We really are.
Yeah, we really should head out there sometime.
Yeah, and I'd like to stay on the Farm Sanctuary grounds.
I would too.
Last time we went, we stayed at Junebug, which was a couple of wonderful vegan people who had a large piece of property, and they had some tiny houses and tree houses and stuff on their property. They were great people. They're no longer operating. So
right.
Next time we go, maybe we'll stay right there on the grounds of the sanctuary.
I think that'd be awesome.
I'm just going to read this first one from Hannah. Hannah said, "I couldn't imagine a more perfect addition to the Farm Sanctuary experience. Chef Gail is extremely talented, creating accessible vegan comfort food, including the best tomato bisque I've ever had. Veggie galette and a chicken parm sandwich. As a B&B guest, we also had the privilege of experiencing her breakfast. At the risk of sounding repetitive, she made the best just egg tofu scramble and breakfast potatoes I've had in my life."
Nice.
That is a really good review.
Yes, indeed. This next review comes from Doug and says, "This place is phenomenal. They've got a big window overlooking the farm with loads of natural light. The food is fantastic, including some limited fruits and veggies that are grown on the premises. The kitchen is also open and exposed while they're preparing food, and the chef and staff are very interactive. I had the meatball sub, and it was delicious. My partner had butternut bisque, apple cider, and a gluten-free chocolate cake. We can't wait to be back and to try the veggie galette and mushroom tacos. They also have gluten-free options available and are very open to making modifications or offering off-menu options. Some of the staff at the farm have celiac, so they understand the nuances and are very careful with cross-contamination."
Oh, that's really good to know. And I love a place with an open kitchen.
Yeah, me too.
That's so cool.
It is. It's great.
We'll just read one or two more. Let's see. Amy says, it's always wonderful going to a restaurant with a full vegan menu. The food is delicious. I had the meatball grinder, potato salad, and chocolate cake. That sounds fantastic.
It does.
And the cafe, bright and airy with large windows with the pig pasture in the distance. As I enjoyed my meal, I would look up and see the pigs happily living their best lives and feel so happy. I can't wait to return. Vegans should not miss this. It's a great lunch spot for locals.
And let's do one more. Kimberly says, just got back from our stay at the bed and breakfast, and we can't stop talking about how superb your food is. My mom said her Reuben is the best she ever had.
They have a Reuben.
They do. And I couldn't wait to wake up this morning because of how much I was looking forward to breakfast. We also got the desserts to go, and I couldn't stop myself from eating all 4 of them. The addition of this cafe on the property has made the stay at Bed and Breakfast a whole new level of vegan heaven. Keep up the great work. We had a perfect visit to the sanctuary. Thank you.
That's just awesome. I'm so glad to see people are loving it, you know?
That's fantastic.
And yeah, if you're staying there on the property, how amazing is that? You don't even need to leave the sanctuary.
Right.
Get up, go to breakfast, hang with the animals, go have some lunch, hang with the animals.
It's fabulous.
You know, go back up to your cabin or tiny house, whichever one you're renting or whatever, and just watch the animals living their best life, like that woman said.
Yep.
It's just great. So if you are ever able to go to Farm Sanctuary in Watkins Glen, be sure to check out the kitchen at Farm Sanctuary. They're only open now through October. So I'm not sure. I don't think the Farm Sanctuary in Watkins Glen gives tours during the winter anyway.
I don't think so.
And I don't know if the Farm Sanctuary in California does the kitchen at the Farm Sanctuary or not. I haven't seen that. But definitely check it out. You still have time. They're open through October. So
yeah,
check it out.
I think we should go before October is over.
We should. If you've been, I'm going to ask you this. If you've recently been to the kitchen at the Farm Sanctuary and you took some pictures of your food, email that along to us. Let us know what you got and what you thought of your meal and what your experience was at the Farm Sanctuary. And we will enter you to win in our vegan dinner winner contest, and we'll buy you a meal.
Yeah, we will.
It's now time for our favorite portion of the show.
Must be listener shout out time.
It's listener shout out.
Just want to give a shout out to all my fans watching. I love you guys. I love you.
This week's shout out goes to MJ Gill 2002. They commented on Spotify, "You two are delightful to listen to. Keep it going."
That's awesome. Thank you so much for your kind words.
Yes, thank you.
MJ.
That's very sweet.
Yeah, and thank you for listening. Please send us your t-shirt size and address so that we can send you a Compassion and Cucumber swag bag. You can text us using the link in our show notes. Include your name. You can email us at compassionandcucumbers@gmail.com or simply DM us on Instagram or Facebook.
For the rest of you out there, if you want a listener shout out, please text, email, or DM us. Let us know what you think of the show and tell us a little bit about yourself. You can also always nominate someone else for a shout out.
It's time to wrap this baby up. But before we go, I always like to remind you to subscribe to the show on your favorite podcast app. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube. Share the show with a friend or a family member so that we can reach more incredibly great people just like you. If you want to get news about the show, you can do that by subscribing to our weekly newsletter at compassionandcucumbers.com. And once a week, I send out a small newsletter that just tells you what's going on in that week's show.
And with that, it's time to sign off. You have just listened to episode 198 of the Compassion and Cucumbers podcast, and there's nothing left to say but where cukes and compassion are always the fashion. On the podcast.
Thanks, James.
Have a great week, everyone.
We'll talk to you next Tuesday or Wednesday. You never know.
We love you.
We do. Bye-bye.
The end.